All right. You'll be surprised to know that this is the fourth time I'm making this video. Okay, fourth time, and the reason why this video is so difficult to make is because I'm talking of a real problem that our Indian men are facing. I try to hide the names and give you the real situation. I try to, in the first video, in the second video, I try to, play around with the details. But what I realized, the more I went into making the video, because when I make a video, I go without a script. I go with the flow. I realized, man, either these guys will get arrested or I'll get arrested, because the the stuff that they shared with me was so dark, so sinister, so unacceptable that it can become a criminal case, man. It was so bad. And what am I talking about is I'm talking of our Indian men and their addiction to sex, porn, and the illegal fetishes which can get you arrested on the spot. Imagine if someone confesses to you that he has done something really bad, really wrong. I mean, shouldn't you report to the police? If you keep it a secret, or if you make a video, okay, this guy tried to do this illegal stuff and all that, and I can't give you the name, I'll get someone knocking at my fucking door and say, you are aware of this, give me that guy's name or I'll put you in jail. And then it destroys my line of work, because people come to me only because I keep things confidential, right? So first and foremost is, like I told you, this is one of the hardest videos I had to make in a long time, because I'm really trying my level best. I'm drinking coffee after coffee, tea after tea, and still it's not coming. So I'm going to give you neutral facts without stating these examples, which I cannot, just to let you know how serious this problem is. Okay. And it involves Indian men, addiction to sex, addiction to porn, and addiction to, which leads them to do illegal things. Okay. Now, I Google searched online, young Indian young Indian men and their addiction to porn. And these are some of the facts I found, and you can Google search, and please, I request you, please, sincerely, please don't tell me Pakistan, they do this, Afghanistan, Muslim men do that, and let's talk India. That's it. I'm not interested. If you want to talk about Pakistani men and Afghani men and Arab men, and go to those YouTube channels and be there. So unsubscribe, block my channel, and then go there. I'm only interested in Indian men, because I deal with Indian men and my client base is Indian men. I am from India. My background was from India. My passport is Indian. My parents are Indian. My friends are Indian. Hope that's clear. So I Google searched Indian men's addiction to porn and how serious it is. These were the facts. 2020 Pornhub report. India is the number one country that searches for pornography. India is the number one. Pornhub's 2020 report. Traffic from India for porn by men increased by nearly 59% in 2020. I think this was during the pandemic. So it increased by 60%. According to Statistia, 58% of men who are, that means nearly 60% of men who are 18 to 34, which is the demographic I'm talking about, had to watch porn every single day, whether one time or multiple number of times or for hours and hours. 60% of 18 to 34. 750 million internet users in India, 750 million, log online only for porn. Now, I can give you more statistics, but I'll just tell you this much, that porn, sex, addiction to sex is not a joke. It's a very serious problem. And how I know this? I've had young students who tell me they cannot study because of porn. There are sometimes you get these confessions from this guy. So when I look at my relative, just imagine he's looking at maybe his cousin or his aunt, and he's telling, I can't stop fantasizing. For me, I don't know what to tell these guys because I'm not a sex therapist. Yeah, I just tell him, boss, listen, use your hand, don't do anything. Like, your sister. And even more scary is when he tells, like, I see these young children, and I said, boss, this is getting into criminal activity. You can get arrested. You're lucky that I'm not going to take this screenshot of what you've chatted and give it to the police. Imagine he's telling, I see small children, I feel turned on. Which is why I told you this is like the fourth bloody attempt to make this video because it's a very serious thing. Remember, I was molested and raped by my own uncle from India, Hindu. I thought he was like my father figure. I loved him like my father, like a father figure. And we thought he was a nice guy, decent guy, normal guy. Had a family, had everything. Alcohol made his inhibitions go, and then he began doing it regularly. And even though I told my family and I told my mom and dad, nobody came to my help. And this is a problem with the Indian families. Sex is taboo. You can't discuss with your mother and father. You can't discuss with the elders. You can only discuss with your friends. And what do the friends tell you? Hey, man, come on, let's enjoy. Hey, take this porn, take this. Where do you go? If you talk to someone, and sometimes if you talk to someone, maybe they'll tell you, hey, you want some more? You talk to a girl, maybe she'll tell you, why don't we have sex? Because even she's frustrated. Just imagine a young man or man, Indian man, is looking at a girl and repeating these video scenes, looking at her body parts and fantasizing. And then if he can't get her, then he's looking at an elderly woman or a woman who's slightly elder and hoping he can get a chance. And then he sees someone who's drunk. And then when he can't get all this, he sees one girl walking in the dark. He thinks, maybe I can grope, maybe I can do something. Nobody's watching. And then the worst, unpardonable sin, when they see a small child who trusts them, who believes them. This is a reality, by the way. And if that was not dangerous enough, there are youngsters who tell me, I can't focus on work. I can't focus on my studies. There's one guy who told me he watches porn for nearly 11 hours. 11 hours on his phone. I said, how do you manage that? He said, when I go to the toilet, I'll see porn. When I sit in my room, instead of studying, I'll see porn. And you might think, oh man, this is only extreme cases. No, 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 you're mistaken. I get youngsters who literally beg and plead. Sir, I need your guidance on this, or I want to join a porn group, sir. I need a... Look, maybe porn has nothing got to do with you. Maybe you're unaffected. Maybe you carry damn. I'm not addicted to porn. I watch porn once in a while. I just use my hand. I'm happy. But lurking deep down in the hearts and minds of people around you, they look decent. They look nice. You don't know what's going in their mind. You don't know what's back of their head. And if you have a brother, if you have a sister, if you have a child, in fact, the most shocking thing is many of these guys, no, they look very normal. They behave very decent, suit and tie. They go to the temple, they go to mosque, they go to church, they pray to God, they do good for others, they donate to the poor. They are very respectable members of society with incredible credentials. But for me, because I'm this coach, I'm this mentor, I'm this guy they can open up to, sometimes they reveal the dark side, which I look at the guy, I'm like, you're like the epitome of goodness, decency, values, ethics, morals. You have children, family, grandchildren. You're such an amazing man who I would look up to. And now you're telling me this? Over the years, I've learned not to take it personally. I've learned this is the reality of these human beings. But all I want to tell you is sex, porn, sexual addiction, porn addiction, sexual frustration is very real in India. Very, very real. And it's the most unfortunate thing that they can't speak to their parents, they can't speak to their elders, they can't get guidance. And you get so many youngsters who want to open up. The problem is, I'm not a sex therapist. I'm not here to have these therapy sessions for sex. But it's a very serious problem, I'll tell you that. And unless, I don't know how, what miracle can solve this. But your wives, your sisters, your mothers, your grandparents, your grandmothers, even your children, they're not safe, especially in India. I'm sorry to say this. Yes, I know you'll bring up Pakistan, you'll bring up Muslim countries, Arab countries, Muslim grooming gangs, but you're staying in India, right? Your friends are in India, right? The challenges you'll face. And maybe you might be, who's watching, you may be that person who has this sickness or this virus or this deep dark side, but that you don't show anyone. It's a very scary thing, I'll tell you that. Anyway, I had to share my thoughts about this. It's a very disturbing topic, and it's because of some things that have happened, and people have opened up to me. I would say be scared, be very scared, be cautious, be very cautious, and be alert, very alert, especially if you have loved ones, wife, children, especially children, sisters, mothers. Be careful. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.